Sending a warm welcome to Mr. Shahab Raza
I have about 40 years of experience working in the engineering industry. I have been teaching at NIT University, professor there, and I have R&D experience, product development and production, as well as consulting and advising service for the industry, and developing testing machines for engineering sector. Basically, I am a technologist. I have a clear vision about Pakistan, what we need to do for the upcoming challenges for the engineering sector. Timely adoption of the new technologies is very important because it's need struggle from every platform, including students, including government, including industry, including individuals, public, general public. Because if you timely adopt new technology, then it can play a very key role in your country's economy. The important thing is that how we can bring all the stakeholders on a common platform to struggle with joint hands. Because this is what has been happening in Pakistan, that people were struggling in isolation. So networking is very important. IEEE is a good platform for you to join hands and become a body to struggle together. Because you need to have your voice, you need to send your voice at each level, from government level, public level, whatever, academia, you have to make impact at every level. So for that, next target for engineers is to achieve net zero goals throughout the world, because net zero means that from energy point of view you become self-sufficient, sustainable, and you can compete in the international platform. So this is very important, that you should understand how to work with joint hands with other disciplines. No single discipline nowadays can achieve anything which is practical and marketable and which can impact. So this is very important that all the disciplines should join hands in this to achieve this goal. Now if we look on the electric vehicle sector for Pakistan, to flourish this sector, there are key players. The most important player is the government. Without the will and capability in the government sector, it is practically impossible to achieve anything. So this is the most important stakeholder for the EV market. The next is academia, universities, researchers, because this is the sector from where you will bring technologies, you will make standards, you will give a roadmap. So this is very important that for our local growth. Unless we overcome this deficiency, we cannot make any progress. Please make sure that we should work on this very, very important topic. So we will discuss it later on. And then there comes the role of industries, and you know, the young ones who are after it, they want to start working immediately, the startups, through a new system which is creating a very good impact internationally. So we should look into it ourselves also and give this very good importance. So as I said earlier, that government is the most important stakeholder to achieve this goal. In government sector, it is very, very important that government should build the PES standards for electrical vehicles. Because I am emphasizing this, because these standards provide you a guideline to develop a product. While developing a product, every company needs some guideline. So this, if it is done by the professionals, those who knows what is the requirement of our country, so we should make our standards accordingly. Standards are available internationally. There are many, many sources, but they are expensive and they are not in the access of individual. For example, if you want to develop a product, you may need 5 or 10 international standards to make that item. And each standard will cost 200, 250 euro. How many of you can afford this kind of expense? And then you need to test and qualify for those standards for which we don't have any local source. If you go to get approval of those products for those in international standards, then it becomes a nightmare. It's not possible practically for you here. So it is very important that Pakistan government should come forward and make Pakistan standards and should have testing facilities available to test the product of local developers locally and certify it to PES standards. In this manner, we will be able to bring our local developer to a common platform, which is to bring them to the quality requirement of our country, which on the top is safety, because electrical vehicle, the most important part is safety. So the next thing is that the government policy of taxation does not cater for or does not support or is not friendly at all for the EV technology to grow, because those are not technical people and they really don't know what to plan and what to do. So they need engineer support. They need engineering community support to have their import and taxation system rationalized to become friendly with EV industry. The next is, of course, very important, very, very important, is the infrastructure. Engineers are required everywhere. Electrical, mechanical, software, even civil, urban town level. Because our road network is not at all energy efficient. Our road system is not at all energy efficient. Let me point two things. Number one is they are not planned for efficient communication from one place to other place. Number two, the speed breaker system. It is not standardized. You will not find any standard speed break system. It should not be mechanical speed break system. It should be through science, through lights, and should be controlled through CCTV cameras. That will save a lot of energy and fuel cost in the vehicles and lot of maintenance in the vehicle. Electrical vehicle is very sensitive to mechanical shocks because its main structure has integrated batteries in it. In our roads, the structure will constantly be facing mechanical stresses and swing and bending and bumping. That will result in a very shorter battery life than would have been with the good roads. So we need to, and the next thing is the stormwater drainage system. Believe me, it's a terrible situation. I have seen in industrial area just very near to Site 2, which is called Site 2. They have planned a nala system with the road. It was planned with the road. They make road and nala along it. And believe me, for that nala there is no exit. For that nala there is no exit planned. It just stayed next to the road. That's all. There is no. I have confirmed it that nala don't have any exit. So this kind of town planner we have. Unless at the city level we plan these things from a total urban area planning point of view, we cannot succeed. With this water flooding our electric motorcycle, our electric car will not be able to perform. At every rain season, you will have a lot of problems in your electric motorcycles and electric vehicles. It is not possible, no matter how good you make. They cannot operate reliably. So it is very important before launching of electrical vehicles, you should have your urban system, roads, and stormwater drainage system to be reviewed and modernized to be made functional. Then it's a very important part for the next requirement for the electrical vehicle is the energy for charging the electric vehicle. That is a very, very important part, and for that we need electrical infrastructure to be modified to that level. So first is the upgradation of the distribution system
by integrating BESS, Battery Energy Storage System, because the load demand for charging the electric vehicle is not uniform load. The grid is designed basically for uniform load to cater for the cyclic power demand for battery charging in 24 hours. It will not be uniform. So to cater that cyclic demand, and that those cycles will vary from region to region. For example, in residential area, the cycle of power demand will be different. The load curve will be different, and for the commercial sector, industrial sector, the load demand is different. So for that you need a battery energy storage system. Our power sector, government power sector is not working still on it. Whereas our neighbor country have already from last 5 years installed prototype BESS system in their cities to monitor its performance, to cater for the requirements, to cater for the complex power peaks requirement for charging the electrical vehicles. Unless you provide this in your distribution infrastructure, you will not be able to get power to charge your electric vehicle, whether it's motorcycle or car, doesn't matter. The next thing is integration of renewable energy. In Pakistan, our distribution companies and so-called power companies are facing great problems in getting renewable energy integrated into their system. They are saying that their systems get unrestricted, and the main goal is stopping it to a level of 30%. They are stopping at 30%. After 30%, they are not allowing renewable energy to be fed into the system. So region-wise, they are limiting it. So this is not very encouraging, because internationally there are regions in the world like Australia. They have regions where they have achieved 70% renewable energy integration, and they have a target to reach 100% renewable energy integration within few years. They have already planned it, and there is no point in limiting to 30% and not doing anything to start planning to raise this capacity for integration of renewable energy. The most important part is that public awareness and vocational training programs government has run, because lot of fields require new type of workers or technicians to work on. So for that, it is very important that we have manpower, trained manpower. Without trained manpower, it is not possible to achieve anything. I have seen cases like that their new staff, when they got transformed into private sector, they installed a PMT, pole mounted transformer, and connected in the wrong way. Means that primary is connected to secondary, secondary connected to primary. And you know what happens if 11,000 volt applied to the 400 volt winding? It caused a massive damage at the consumer end. This is only because they don't have proper training. So such kind of disaster will take place unless we have proper training for our workforce. And the most important part is that, hands-on training, hands-on working extremely important in the engineering sector. Hands-on working for electrical engineers, hands-on working for mechanical engineers, and hands-on working for computer science. For computer science, if you don't have the hand-on experience, you cannot move further. But for electrical engineers and mechanical engineers, they get away just by paperwork. And this is terrible. And they feel proud that we are doing white collar job. Believe me, you cannot achieve anything. The paper line बन के आप कुछ भी achieve नहीं कर सकते. You can write extremely good paper, you can write extremely good reports. You don't mean anything if you cannot implement anything, if you cannot have final functional item which is useful for the community, useful for the industry. For that, you need to change your mindset. Work like a mechanic as well, as a technician as well. Unless you have that feeling and that phase, unless you go through that phase, you won't be able to grow. So, it is very important in government sector when they are making policies, they should take on board the technologists, the engineers, the experts who have hands-on experience on the technologies working in the industry. Only if they take this type of category on board, then they can achieve. Otherwise, only degree holder who have good paper experience, good report writing skills, we have been making good printed letters, but nothing, with no impact. So you should keep this thing in mind, that you should theoretically be very strong. You should be able to write reports. But unless you have hands-on experience, you really want nothing in future. So this is very important. Otherwise you go for management degree, don't go for engineering degree, go for management degree. Next slide, please. इसमें जो रोल है गवर्नमेंट के पास, वो सबसे ज्यादा रोल है इंडस्ट्रीज का. सो इंडस्ट्रीज is very important in Pakistan. What is happening in the industrial sector? Industries are operating in solo mode. They don't have cooperation. This is very important. In automobile sector, they have made a business model which is functioning, but for future that model is not useful. You see, if you are looking forward for, say, electrical vehicles or some infrastructural components for upgrading the grid system or something like that, you need expertise and exposures of various industries. So it is very important for the industries to make association for a certain sector and make and supervise a supply chain system for making that product. And in that supply chain system, first you will have many important items, and that industry should help local industry to identify various items to develop locally and monitor a certain relationship among the stakeholders for that sector to keep the price low and to keep the production high, because it's all the game of supply chain. At low cost, good quality. So instead of if we, for example, if one company is making batteries and electric vehicles, and they are covering for example, almost 100% Pakistan market, for example. In our mindset, the next industrialist will like to come in the same sector because it is functioning and he wants to take his share. Instead of going that electric motor is not being manufactured locally for the electric vehicle, he should concentrate on electrical vehicle to make the local supply chain system efficient and to support the industry. They should have cooperate among themselves to fulfill the total need for that sector. Instead of achieving a cutthroat competition, they should try to broaden their field and they fully cover the complete range of products which are involved for that product. So that is very important, that whenever you work, you should work for a new item to delete, for new item to add. So that is very important. Now the role of university. University's role is extremely important because they are the providers of technology, technologists. They are the provider of the manpower. So if they take the right decision, if they include in their curriculum timely the right topic, the right subjects, and upgrade their laboratories and workshops. University should have laboratories, workshops, and they should also have Hamdard University, like Hamdard University, they should also have some in-house industrial complexes where they develop products for the industry and make some initial level of production before it is being shifted to on very mass scale to the industry. And they should involve in supporting the local industries for making high-tech products instead of industries to go abroad and get technologies from there at very high rate, dollars they can pay. If these universities develop those technologies here, then they will be available right on the next node. You can always consult them and charges will be very low and it will be very efficient, and most important thing, they will be developing as per our market demand. What our I will suggest for universities that they should get a special permission from the government of Pakistan to import damaged electrical vehicle, latest damaged electrical vehicle. Those are in total loss. Those are damaged accidents. They should, every university should be allowed for 40, 50 such vehicles to import, which will be import by weight. And they should cut the sections of that vehicles and make a display center for various sections of that vehicles to be displayed and monitored by the students and the faculty. So hands-on experience and touching those products and seeing their products and seeing their product open, dismantled, will give a good motivation to the engineering committee to make those products locally. Only pictures or videos are not enough. You should have a feeling, a real feeling for that. So, the next is collaboration with the foreign universities. To work on international level, your collaboration and your frequent interaction with international universities is very important. Your students should go there for some time, say a few months in vacation, and have useful time in that university and come back. So this program should be placed, because this is very important to reach international level from technology software. And then very important part, universities can play a very important role in making PES standards for electrical vehicles. Now the very toughest part, public opinion, public mindset. Because in our society, we are always proud of using imported items. We are always proud of I bought reconditioned car instead of local Pesa cars. Aren't we? Yes, we are. So this is the mindset which is basically hurting us. Our neighbor country, for many years, they relied for their local cars. They never allowed to import, and now they are far ahead. They are making automobile at international standards, any quality. So we need to scrap this mindset. If you want to grow, you want to have self-reliance, you need to change your mindset. And the next is, EV needs a lot of infrastructure for charging. That infrastructure cannot be made only at the level, at the government level or at the distribution company level. It has to be supplemented by common public. For example, in electric rickshaw or electric motorcycle, there is a concept of swapping of batteries. Because batteries are expensive, so our infrastructure is required. A rickshaw wala, for example, uski battery, if it can discharge, it just go there and swap the battery and continue its route, instead of having a very large onboard battery to have a whole day running energy. It's become expensive. So, to cater the affordability, we need to bring affordability. So, this is very important that you should have to engage community. So, my conclusion is that we have to make efforts on every platform, on every level, at the students level, at university level, at public level, at government level. But in short, merit is the key issue. If the government does not involve on merit basis the technologists in developing the EV policy and EV technology, this program cannot succeed. Thank you very much.